Welcome back to Under Oath. I'm your host, Jeff Kaufman. Sitting next to me is James John, suffering through my nonsense. Now, James, the last couple shows, we got a little dark.
We did.
We got a little dark about a bunch of stuff, talking about penises and parents killing each other and stuff like that.
Yes.
What we're going to do now is I'm just going to let you ask me these questions.
Okay, I got a couple of them.
We're just going to shotgun them.
Okay, here we go.
So that people can't say, Jeff's talking about penises and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So no penis talk at all. I will not mention the word penis from this time forward.
Legally obligated to tell you guys, we are not doctors, but I do play one with my wife.
Yes.
There you go. All right, here's a good one, because this, I think, in this day and age of dating could
happen. If I played doctor with my wife, it would be just about, hey, you owe me this money.
Copay.
You know,
hey, your insurance didn't cover that.
Insurance didn't cover it. You're down about $200. You want to Venmo that me?
Venmo. Oh my God.
Sorry.
Oh, that feels good. Now this, I think, could happen in the day and age of online dating. Here we go. Am I being blackmailed or am I about to be arrested? There you go.
Blackmail or arrested.
Now, I'm 19 years old, and I met a girl on Tinder whose profile said she was 18.
Oof.
Now, after we exchanged some explicit photos, her dad found out, and now I know that she was actually 16 and is now threatening to call the police unless I buy her a laptop. Ooh. Now, can I say something first before we start?
Before we get into this?
Yes. That's what I was going to do.
You have child porn on your computer now.
Correct.
Oh. That is the crime that people do not forgive. And that is the knockdown.
Yes.
It doesn't matter whether you didn't know the age or something else. You are guilty.
What does that leave that person?
Let's not even get into the blackmail issue.
Okay. All right. Legally, what does that put
you don't get to say, oh, I didn't know.
You can't say that.
No, it's a strict liability crime.
Really?
Yeah. Strict liability means you got it, you did it.
Okay.
You possess it, you did it.
Let me throw some stuff out there too. And you're the legal expert. I'm a dumb guy. Now, I believe, because I've never been on a dating site, because I'm married, happily, 32 years. I believe on a dating site, they say you have to be 18 to sign up for this.
Yes.
Okay. So he was lied to.
I'm in a bar. She used a fake ID. Same thing.
Doesn't
matter.
Got it.
Wow. That's a tough one.
That's a tough spot to be in. Yes. What do you do?
If
you're him, what do you do?
Okay. First, you're being blackmailed. You keep everything.
Okay.
And the problem is this. If you now committed a felony that, depending on the state you're in, the statute of limitations could be 20 years, 15 years, 10 years, 5 years. Wow. A misdemeanor, 1 to 2 years. So that's why they're able to go get you 10, 15 years later, because the statute of limitations, meaning the length of time that they can't prosecute you afterwards.
Understood.
Like normally with an SA offense, it could be unlimited. And certain states have allowed them to go back 40 years, 50 years.
You were telling me about that.
Like California backed up some of their laws. That's why I think it has to be mandatory, other than murder.
Okay.
Other than murder, I think anything that's a he said, she said kind of thing, you have to have a limitation.
Okay.
Or he said, she said, whatever you want to do.
Got it.
But murder, that should probably be the only one. But something that's a sex crime, that's difficult because, 20 years later, he comes and says he didn't do it. She said he did do it, or he said he did it.
And it becomes
And there's no evidence.
No.
It's just who a jury believes.
No.
And it's impossible to prove a negative.
Got it. Understood.
The toughest case I ever had was a 17-year-old African-American kid and a 15-year-old Indian girl.
Okay.
And it was in juvenile court.
Gotcha.
But they kept threatening to move them up.
Now, were they dating? Well, I don't know. I'm asking because I don't know the particular.
They knew each other.
They knew each other.
Yeah.
And was it parents found out and they got angry?
No, the young lady went forward and said that she
was assaulted.
Yes.
Okay. That's where we're at. They were you got it.
This kid would not come clean with me. I said, did you have sex with her? I never had sex with her. And I knew he had sex with her. I just didn't know if it was consensual or not.
Gotcha.
And the answer over and over and over again was
no.
no, I never had sex with her. No, and I'm going, there's proof he had sex with her. Why is he lying to me? It'd be so much easier if he told me it was just consensual, so then I could move forward.
And there's a reason they say always be honest with your attorney.
But I couldn't move forward, and I'm sitting here, and I deposed, meaning that I had her under oath for about 7 hours. And there was something wrong with her story. It just kept ringing. There was weirdness. And as an attorney, you have to have a certain amount of empathy to do your job well.
Makes sense.
You have to have feelings. You have to go, something in your stomach goes, this is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I finally figured it out. And we went through the whole trial. And they would go, give him 5 years, 5 years. That was the best deal. If not, he's going to do 15, 20, whatever.
Jesus.
And he kept digging in. And during cross-examination, it was a 7-hour cross-examination. And
7 hours?
Everyone hated me.
Yeah.
Everyone in the room hated me. And I knew I had her. But she had to show who she was for me to get this over.
And everybody hates you because they're empathizing with the victim. Okay.
As I'm walking away, I go, how do I get her to lose it? Because I know who this person is. I can feel it in my heart. I know who this person is.
Yes.
And she's playing this whole time, the victim. And I just knew it was
something
wrong.
was off. Yeah.
And the whole time, and nobody else saw it. And I'm going, how am I the only one who sees this? And I'm going, am I broken? Is there something wrong with me? And then the words came out of my mouth. Hey, it's okay. You moved on. I can understand why you would do this.
You said that.
And I turned my back towards her.
Because you were just trying to bait her into reacting.
People do not like, it's like being on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Never show your back to the audience or they won't like you.
Mm-hmm.
So I said it. I turned my back towards her like I was ignoring her.
Gotcha.
And she screams at me, I'm the best piece of ass he's ever had.
That does not sound like a victim.
No.
Saying that. So the whole courtroom just...
I turned around to her. I go, yeah, but he doesn't want you anymore. He upgraded.
You doubled down.
I doubled down. And she's going, F you, I'm the best. I have the best blank he's ever had.
That, again, does not sound like...
No.
Yeah.
It probably took 2 of those outbursts.
Now, what's the reaction of her lawyer? Like, no! Like,
the prosecutor
yes.
looks over and just goes, oh
my God. Yeah.
The judge goes, oh my God.
The aha moment everybody has.
And I kind of walked back to my table and I sat on the corner and I looked at her. I'm going, why would you put us through all this?
Because then it becomes...
And she goes, I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm.
I said, you just let everyone know it's okay. And she's looking around and her parents are looking at her. Everyone's looking at her.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, why would you want to end somebody's life over this? And then she refused to answer any more questions.
She was done.
And I looked over at the judge and I didn't even have to go to the jury. I looked at the state. I go, are we done with this? And the judge goes, we're done.
Judge, like
yeah.
Yeah.
And the prosecutor was like, I'm out.
Yeah. What am I going to say now? Yeah.
He goes, because prosecutors, they want to win, but you also have to, your victim has to actually be a victim.
Correct.
And when you realize you've been snowed this whole time,
mm-hmm.
and I sat there and I was like sitting there going, wow. And everybody for like a whole year kept saying, Jeff, take this plea.
And you just knew something wasn't quite
It was wrong.
Right,
it was wrong.
Yeah.
And I knew it was wrong. And then I said to the kid afterwards, and he was a kid, I go, why?
Would you not tell me the truth?
Would you tell me? He goes, my mother wouldn't understand that I had sex.
Oh my God.
Like you were going to throw your whole life away.
Your mother wouldn't understand you being in prison.
To not upset your mother.
Yeah.
And now there are people who are listening to this go, Jeff, you couldn't be positive. Yeah, I can.
You've been doing it long enough.
When you did it as long as I did it.
Yes.
You know. And things haunt you, things that you don't see right. Mm-hmm. Like in this, I realized what I also didn't see right either is the story she told would have required him to be like 10 feet tall.
Okay.
And I didn't even get to that part before she lost her mind.
Because you didn't have to because of what?
No.
What was revealed.
So the night before, it was just bothering me and I figured it out. But it's devastating. Mm-hmm. It's devastating when you're in this situation. Now, this guy right here, everyone's listening is going to go, well, how could he have known? You have child porn on your laptop.
Regardless of what happened.
Delete it, get rid of it. It's something that you don't want. If you didn't know it. Now, people are going to go, well, Jeff, are you telling her to get rid of evidence? No, you did not consent to having child porn on your computer.
No, that's not what you consented to.
No. Now, having this on your computer, you go, I didn't know it was mine. I didn't know who she was.
Like that.
But I wouldn't say anything. I said, all you can say is, listen, as far as I knew, she was 18 years old. That's it. Do you know what you had? No, I'm not saying anything.
That's it.
Hire an attorney immediately.
Get lawyer up.
And say, listen, you want to talk about it? This is my lawyer. Now, here's the scary thing.
Yeah.
AI.
It's gotten good, Jeff.
No.
AI has gotten good, man.
We're over it. AI is not just good.
It's great.
It's done. It's done. You have AI out there now that
Can do.
I upload a picture of myself sitting in this chair
Mm-hmm.
and you go, make Jeff nude.
It'll do it.
It'll do it. So every picture you have online.
That's the third thing on my
if
browsing
you're female,
history.
if you're a
It's
woman,
Jeff naked.
I mean, you got to scare the neighbors with something.
I'm just saying, man.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
To the women out there, any picture on your Facebook page
Can be.
within 10 seconds, you could be nude.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
And nothing is blocking these AI apps from doing it. Type in make character nude. You'll get 7 different apps that will do it. So every picture you have, you with all your girlfriends, suddenly all 7 of you are naked.
And here's a difference, though. AI has gotten so good, they're bringing back people that passed away, and it looks like it's really them. They got ones of Tupac, Michael Jackson, and it doesn't look fake.
We're done. We don't know.
What's real.
No, it's
What's
impossible.
real?
So my advice with this is if you're dating online, stop being lazy. Talk to people. Go out on a date. Don't spend 7 hours going back and forth with somebody. Nothing will end a relationship faster knowing everything about each other in a day.
Mm.
A relationship is a marathon.
Not a race.
It's over a period of time. You get to know each other. You get to being able to put up with somebody's nonsense takes time.
Does.
But here's the story. Online stuff is nonsense. Go out with somebody, have coffee, talk to somebody. Being open online makes it almost impossible to be open when you're face to face.
I agree with that.
Because you're not the same person.
I agree with that.
And you're not going to be. And everything you write or say is weird. It's the same way we treat each other online. We're a lot meaner online than we are in front of each other.
And I'm paranoid. I think if you send me a picture, even if you're my wife, I think someone can have that picture. If you send it, it's in the cloud. Somebody can get it.
Let me tell you this, and you're going to be upset when I tell you this. If you ever take a picture of yourself that you don't want anybody to ever see,
Don't send it.
other than the person you love, you're an idiot.
To send it.
Okay? Look me in the eyes. It's going to get out and you're going to be heartbroken and you're going to go, how did this happen? Because you were an idiot. And I don't care if your friends are going, how would you know? You know, because I'm telling you.
Don't do it.
I'm telling you right now that you've heard me, you can't claim that you didn't know.
Agreed.
And your daughter, you want to tell your daughter, hey, I'd rather you get a tattoo than ever take a naked picture of yourself.
Correct.
Because the tattoo I can get taken off.
Mm-hmm.
Digitally, lasts forever.
It's forever.
You know how many women come to me and go, Jeff, I did this and I don't know why I did it. Because somebody didn't say to you, don't be stupid. Ask yourself this question.
Your job.
Do you want your neighbors, your friends, and your children to see pictures of you in the nude? If the answer is no, then don't take it in the first place. It will get out. It always gets out. I didn't know, Jeff. It gets out. Welcome back to Under Oath. I'm attorney Jeff Kaufman, sitting next to my partner, Craig Lind. Woo, we get a lot of angry people online. They don't like us.
They don't like you.
No, they don't like you.
Oh, they love me.
No, they don't. Because they always
hear
refer you to the big guy.
Well,
They don't even know your name, the big guy.
well, that's very descriptive.
Does the
as
big guy
between the two
actually
of us.
practice law? I'm going, yeah, he practices law. And here's the thing. Anytime they disagree with you, they think you're wrong. They think, oh, he doesn't know the law. He don't know the law.
They think, who doesn't think that?
They all do.
I've never seen that.
Come on, all the time.
I've never seen
Do
that.
you know how many comments we delete to protect your...
To protect my ego?
Yeah.
I have no idea how many comments you delete.
I'll
bet you it's 0. Dave, producer Dave, how many comments? Don't look at Jeff. Don't look at Jeff.
Hold
Do
on,
not
watch
look
it.
at him.
La,
Tell me
la.
how many comments you delete to protect my ego. Just one?
Well, that's one every day, at least.
One per
One
hour.
per hour. No, about one every 10 minutes. You know what? It depends on the topic. See, I don't get offended anymore because I kind of laugh at it.
So leave them on there to teach me a lesson. I need to know.
You have the ability to learn?
I think so.
It's never happened in the past, but if that opportunity ever came around, I'd probably take it.
We shouldn't give up.
All right, let's talk about failed opportunities. You know, the part 2 of Wicked is out. You know, the musical, which they broke into 2 movies.
Yep, I saw that.
You know, the musical's only 3 hours. I don't know why the movie had to be 6. They could have just followed the musical and been fine.
I saw parts of it. My little girl was watching that with one of her friends, and like in between football games, commercials, I would see.
Take one for
like
the team.
20 seconds of it, 30 seconds of it.
All right. She's doing the premiere in Australia. And some dude, actually it's in Singapore. And some 26-year-old Australian guy, somehow he goes to Singapore to go to the premiere, and he jumps over the fence and grabs Ariana. Now Ariana weighs a whopping 32 pounds. I've seen her lately.
Well, is he a fan of hers, or is he trying to hurt her?
Who knows what he was doing? But then he starts dancing, and he was trying to get attention.
Oh,
well, Singapore.
It's like a TikTok video kind of thing.
While we are not licensed in Singapore, they charge him with public nuisance. Only a fine up to $1,500. He grabbed her. Not just, there's a difference. He got in the dance, but he actually grabbed her, did everything. He could have harmed her. $1,500 fine.
Yeah, but he didn't, though. He didn't hurt her, right?
Doesn't matter. It's still battery. And here it'd be a battery, a harmful or offensive touching.
Well, I can appreciate the fact that they have a distinction in Singapore when it's not actually harmful or offensive. It's just annoying.
I can't reach over and just grab a celebrity.
They have a category of annoying that we don't have. We should have that category here. Like, what would be the under battery? Well,
we charge more?
Between assault and battery, no less. Like, I touch you, but it's just annoying. I don't punch you, but I put my hand on your shoulder, and you don't like my hand being on your shoulder. But to call that battery and to call me punching you in the nose battery, those aren't really the same. They shouldn't be viewed as the same.
Update. We got an update within 2 seconds. Dude had to do 9 days.
9 days? That does not look like an Australian guy.
Oh, look, come on. He's got feathers in his hair.
That looks like a Singapore person.
No, he's from Australia. He just identifies.
No, that's somebody who's from
like you're an expert. The Australian influencer.
I have been to at least 2 countries outside the United States. Okay. So I am what they call a world traveler. And I can tell you by looking at somebody what country they're from.
And it was determined that the act was premeditated now.
Well, of course it was premeditated.
Of course it was.
He wanted the picture. He wanted the picture of him standing next to.
Could you imagine
Ariana Grande or the other lady?
Now here's the thing about him. I'm looking at him right now.
Did he touch Ariana Grande because he was trying to get next to her?
Oh, okay.
Or did he touch her because she was in the way of him getting next to the other lady?
And this kid looked a little frail. He might have been the same size as Ariana. I don't think he would make 9 days.
No, they don't put you in like hardcore prison
in
for
Singapore?
just 9 days. No, they don't.
You think the Asians have a nice, like a Holiday Inn or something?
Yes, I think they do. I don't think they have the same. Like county jail versus prison here in Florida. That's a big difference.
If you've been in a Singapore lockup, please send us your opinion. If Craig is thinking it's the Motel 6 version of.
Yeah. Is it all hardcore prison? No, right next to murderers. They put that guy right next to murderers and rapists? I don't think so.
I think there are a couple places that I would not want to be locked up in.
Singapore,
Mexico, Singapore. There's certain places that, I might not want to be treated as well as I believe I might be.
But I can appreciate the fact that it's not really a huge deal. Like, it's not the same as battery. Like, if he had struck her with something. Like, if he punched her, then obviously he should be doing 90 months.
I'm getting tired of it. I'm getting tired of and here's
fans.
Okay,
she kind of.
I'm not crapping on influencers. Okay, I'm not. But when you do bad things to irritate people just for attention, not a big fan. Like, they got all these, now they got these 22-year-olds who have these huge bodyguards, and they run over and harass people. And then when the person goes around to hey, put him in his place, the bodyguard steps in.
Yeah. It's bad news. They're going to get shot.
There's going to be somebody who's going to go, this person doesn't belong on this planet. And everyone's going to say, hey, Jeff, they're going to say it's a First Amendment thing and all this other stuff. I don't think intentionally screwing with somebody or trying to cause a fight, intentionally, your actions by running over and physically assaulting somebody and thinking that, that it's just a joke.
Yeah, but that's not the same. In my mind, there's a different category from what this kid did versus jumping the fence to punch somebody or to hit them with a bag of urine or, something gross and offensive like that. Like, he just wanted a picture next door and he knew that this is the only way to get it. He's not going to.
He didn't want the picture. He wanted the viral moment.
Okay. And he paid for it. He's got 9 days.
I'm sure he didn't think he. I'm absolutely positive he wasn't thinking he was
getting more. I mean, she wasn't actually in any danger.
No, but you know that's so weird because celebrities. Some of these celebrities are tiny. I mean, just tiny people, and I mean, they break pretty easy. This, like I said, she's a tiny person. I've seen her, and
Well, I think he got what was appropriate. You think he should have gotten more?
No, I think 9 days is good. I could live with 9. I just don't like the idea of him now using this celebrity, using this bad moment to enhance himself. And we don't allow that to happen in prison. Like if you go to jail and you try to make money off it, a lot of times that money goes to the victim.
Yeah, I think that only counts for murder, though.
Is it?
I think that rule only applies. You can't profit off of your crimes when you injure somebody, and you can't make money from the fact that you injured them. So you couldn't have a movie about how you killed somebody and then make money from it.
Well, it's not only murder. Certain states, I think there are about 40 of them that have what they call the son of Sam rights. This was one of these murderers who were busted, but it applies to all victims, not just murderers. But New York actually had a case where they said it was a little too broad. You can't, just because he tells a story doesn't mean you should be able to get your money off it, but it has to be clear. I think it's like a $10,000 threshold.
Yeah, well,
sometimes.
I kind of agree. God, I hate to say this, but I kind of agree with New York that there should be a limiting factor. And the limiting factor should be that you can't do it if you murdered somebody or you raped somebody or something like that. But if you're a drug cartel guy and you go and you do 20 years in prison, then you come out and make a movie about how you became a drug cartel guy, I don't see a problem with you profiting from that. It's an interesting story, and you are allowed to sell it for what the market will pay for it, right?
Look at OJ. OJ, his book sales, remember he said, "If I did it."
I don't remember that.
If I did it. He wrote this thing.
He wrote a book that said, "If I did it."
If I did it, yeah.
How did I miss that?
Well, let's just say that if I did it, that money all went to Goldman.
Yeah.
Now, Goldman, believe it or not, he's been trying to get his money for 30 years. And
isn't OJ dead?
Yeah. So the people, his estate has been like keeping the money from the Goldmans, supposedly.
Well, who's he going to go to if it doesn't go to the Goldmans? Does he have sons and daughters?
Well, he has children.
Does he?
But and also you have the IRS.
Well, the IRS wants
IRS
I'd rather the Goldmans have it than the IRS.
Ooh, no. IRS gets it first. We have a lot of respect for you guys. You guys are fantastic. Crazy.
Yes, of course. What was I thinking?
So I will take on the mob before I take on the IRS. I want you to know right now.
Huh.
Nope. IRS, these are badasses. They took down Capone.
Yeah, for not filing taxes,
yes.
right?
Could you imagine? That's how powerful. That don't screw with those guys. Yeah. I'm more scared of a calculator than I am of a gun. No way. But yeah, so in situations like this, they don't want you profiting off it. And I think some of that does apply to this influencer stuff where they get involved and they commit crimes and they do bad stuff. Now, some of them are employed later because of their antics.
Right. Yeah. So this guy could if this guy blows up now, let's say, for example,
pants on the ground,
and all of a sudden he starts making millions of dollars because everybody's following him. You think Ariana Grande should be able to say,
nope,
hold on, you don't get to make that money. The only reason that anyone even knows your name is because you came over and jumped where you didn't belong and hugged me when you weren't supposed to. If it weren't for that, nobody would know your name and I get all that money.
That's where I don't think they allow it.
Well, that's actually in that case, I would support it.
Well, look at the guy. Who was the guy in the OJ case who dropped the N-bomb and then denied he did?
Mark Furman.
Mark Furman. Mark Furman became huge afterwards. Huge. Because of that trial for perjuring himself. I mean, it was crazy. He was a correspondent. He was on everything. And he became famous because of his perjury. Not a fan of, hey, I was a really bad dude. Now I'm going to get a network spot because I was a bad dude.
Yeah.
What can I tell you? America. Today we have journalist and author Jake Tapper. Jake, can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. You've had a busy year. You've written a couple books. You got this great job, and you still, I think the Fourth Estate takes a ridiculous amount of heat actually in the last 2 years. I mean, does it feel hotter than it used to be?
It does, but I think that is mainly because of there is there has become the monetization of hate and the monetization of villains. There are not just cable channels, but now algorithms in our social media that are demonizing people, demonizing news media, demonizing anybody who's on the other side of a political issue, and on and on and on. It's not even Democrats versus Republicans. It's just like whatever tribe that person is warring against that day. And yeah, I mean, news media is definitely part of that. And I don't think it's particularly healthy for democracy. And I don't think it's particularly honest for the people doing it. But it's pretty blatantly about money grabs. That's what it seems to me anyway.
It feels like, I got a degree in journalism. I'm an attorney licensed in 18 states. I've had issues with the press before when it comes to certain things. And when I've been on high profile cases trying to go, no, that didn't happen in court. Why are you reporting it that way? And I think it's the headline. It's always been about if it bleeds, it leads. And if you later find out there was no blood, you read about that on page 20.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, that is, look, anybody in media should spend a day being written about or covered, and you get an idea of how unfair it can be. And I certainly have seen that from both sides, both somebody saying to me, hey, you're not being fair, this is what really happened, and also me feeling that way. But generally speaking, I think most reporters try to do the best job they can in situations they're given. Now, that said, we're in a media world now where people pretty openly are writing clickbait, and it doesn't really even matter if it's true or not. And I feel bad for this next generation of journalists coming up at a time where writing, it's not even clickbait, it's rage bait, right? Yep. It's about making people mad. And that's not what journalism is supposed to be. And look, I know that there's a long history of outrage journalism in this country, and that's not necessarily a bad thing if there are real things to be outraged about. Like the stock houses in Chicago at the turn of the century or whatever, the turn of the 20th century. But so much of it is based on editors, not the reporters necessarily, saying, write about this, and it's, again, the monetization of rage is very, it's unhealthy. And I'm sorry that you went through that as an attorney.
Yeah. The problem is you see it all the time, but I actually caught a moment that I'll never forget. I was sitting in a restaurant and there were people from the local paper, the Orlando Sentinel, and I was listening to the head editor, and he was discussing the stories he wanted to write for the next year and what topics he wanted to talk about. And I was sitting there going, is this how we decide things now? Do we just go, okay, this is the alley we want to go down? And he was going, and we're not going to do any stories about this anymore. We're just going to stick with this one, this one, this one. And I was thinking about how choreographed the information we receive is now. And, depending if this is like my mother watches you all the time. She tells me she got excited when she goes, oh, who are you interviewing this week? And I told her the guys from Duck Dynasty yesterday and Jake Tapper today. And she goes, oh, I love him. And everything that comes out of your mouth, she believes no matter what. And I mean, that's a ridiculous amount of power to have. And I can't imagine the responsibility you feel on a daily basis.
I do feel a responsibility about it. And I do feel a responsibility to be fair and to not spend my show demonizing anyone, other than like maybe Jeffrey Epstein. But that's just reporting facts about Jeffrey Epstein. And no, I take that very seriously. I take that with a real, and I think it's, to the degree that I've earned any of it, it's because I have learned lessons about fairness. And we all learn lessons. Most of the lessons we learn are from our mistakes, not our successes. So, I mean, I really do try, and I want your mother to know that I take that responsibility seriously.
Now, your new book that just came out discusses a trial and the basically the gathering of evidence and the building of the case against an Al-Qaeda terrorist. And I got to read a little bit of it, and I got to look at some of the facts of the case. And as an attorney who used to do criminal defense a long time ago, I'm sitting here going, God, there are just so many issues in here as an attorney to be concerned about.
Yeah. So the story is about the race of U.S. prosecutors had to build a case against an al-Qaeda terrorist. He was in the custody of the Italian government, and the Italians didn't want to hold him for much longer. And the Americans, because it was during the Obama years, you couldn't just ship him the Gitmo, had to build a case so that they could get him indicted and they could get him extradited. And so the book is mainly about the detective work and the sleuthing and building the case. But there's also, as you note, all these legal issues. The Spin Ghoul is the name of the terrorist. He comes to the United States. He has defense attorneys, and they are trying to build a defense for him. So we talk about the laws of combat. If an al-Qaeda terrorist kills Americans in a battle zone, American service members in a battle zone, is that even against the law? And if so, why? We talk about competency. Here is a guy who is acting bizarre in court, although people are suspicious that maybe it's an act, not real incompetence. Where is the line there? And we get into all sorts of issues having to do with prosecution and defense. But at its heart, it's basically a detective book. I wrote it like a thriller, like a fiction thriller, but it is 100% true. And it's about the hard work of these prosecutors and FBI agents to build this incredible case that they built so that this terrorist could be extradited, could be indicted, and would be found guilty. So he would be locked away forever. So he wouldn't do what he wanted to do, his life's purpose, to kill as many Americans as possible.
Now, I have so many views on this because I also served in the Middle East a long time ago. And as a soldier, I look at it, and as an attorney, I go, there is almost zero chance that a guy like this could get a fair trial in this country. I mean, it's practically zero, because who's going to say, well, I don't love an American soldier. This isn't a random person. This is somebody being tried in the middle of America from an act that happened, on the other side of the planet in front of a jury of his peers. We're not even close to a jury of this guy's peers.
Well, yes and no. Let me just say this. So this story that I tell in the book is the only example ever of a foreign terrorist tried in a U.S. criminal court for killing service members, U.S. service members in a war zone. It had never happened before, and it still hasn't happened. Although Trump is trying to do it with a second guy who was behind the Abbey Gate bombing. But before Obama tried to do that, there was the case of a guy named Galani. And this is in the book. Galani is, to this day, the only Gitmo detainee ever tried in a U.S. criminal court. And he's brought to the United States for trial for his role in the 1998 U.S. Embassy bombings in Kenya and Tanzania. And the judge, in hearing the evidence, throws out a witness. And because they only learned the U.S. only learned the name of the witness through Galani being tortured by the CIA. And so there is a judge upholding the U.S. Constitution, doing what he thinks is right. And then the jury acquits Galani of 284 out of 285 charges. So when you say, I don't know that somebody could get a fair trial, I don't know that that's true. We only have two examples, really, of foreign individuals being tried in such a way. One is Galani and the other is Spin Ghoul. And Galani almost walked. So I don't know.
When we talk about that, and this is from my experience, the toughest thing you can get is a solid jury. And I found out in my earlier career that it doesn't matter how good your facts are. If your jury doesn't buy it, like if I have a case in Tennessee, for example, and I have an African-American client, and I'm looking at a sea of white, I've seen them not care. I've seen the level of, I don't give a damn. Now, who is going to care even the slightest about this guy from a foreign country and everything else like that in a situation like this? And I know that the example you gave before was a solid one. But at the same time, they're looking at this guy going, he must have done something. That in every criminal case, they stare at the client and they say the same thing. He wouldn't be here if he didn't do something.
Right.
And he had 3 years of of testimony in the with the Italians and everything. And listen, I'm disgusted by the act. I'm not going to defend a terrorist.
Right.
But at the same time, I can't even how close you can be if there are no bad actors other than you. Like you mentioned before that, they had to throw witnesses out because of certain issues. But if you can't find a bad actor worse than the one you're representing, you're going to lose that case every time.
So I hear what you're saying, but the question is, what do you do with this guy? I guess the question is just, so Spin-Ghoul, is picked up during the Arab Spring by the Italians in this kind of fantastical way. And the Americans do all this work, the prosecutors, the criminal court, to prove a case against him. The options for the U.S. are let him walk, I guess drone him, put him in a military tribunal, or try him in a U.S. criminal court. I mean, those are the options. Now, for the Americans, they said, we can't let him walk. He has stated, and we believe him, that his goal is to kill as many Americans as possible. So that's not an option. So then it's like, well, do we drone him, which is obviously against international law, although maybe it would happen. I don't know. And then it's just a military tribunal or U.S. criminal court. So it's just a bunch of, the problem is the evil and the willingness to kill. And so then I guess I would ask you, Jeff, what would you do with him?
I think what has to happen, we've made huge mistakes in the last 2 or 3 years, and we're still making them now. And we call that, I guess the term lawfare came up, where when we feel we're morally right, we're going to do things that are highly unusual in our court systems. We're going to create things to bring somebody to court in a place we don't normally do this, because we think we're morally right. Right. And that scares the crap out of me, because I've been in front of judges my whole life that thought they were morally right when they were absolutely so far on the wrong side of things.
Well, they all think that.
Yeah, and that's a frightening thing. So we're going to say, well, we don't know what to do, so let's do something we've never done before. And anytime you screw with the law like that, you bring, whether it be the Trump stuff or the stuff they're doing now, when you go, okay, well, we don't really have the law the way we want it to have it, so let's kind of work around. We'll start piecemealing stuff. Right.
Let's take 2 misdemeanors and turn it into a felony.
I mean, I remember having that discussion online as an attorney. I was going, guys, you got to realize this is bizarre. And there are attorneys all over going, we don't understand this. And the comments I got? Well, maybe you don't understand the law well enough, Jeff.
Right.
And I'm going, well, I'm licensed in 18 states. I've taken 9 bars. I'm pretty good with what I'm looking at. And
no, I hear you.
Anytime we start making exceptions, whether it be for the left or the right, we start screwing with our laws, and we're setting precedents that we might not want, because we don't want our citizens treated like this in foreign countries. But when you open the door to that, I don't know how you close it.
Well, and this goes back to all sorts of prosecutions in terms of, quite often, as you know, the FBI will investigate somebody for a crime and they can't prove the crime, so they charge them with lying to the FBI.
Yep.
And people would probably be very surprised to hear that these allegations or charges of lying to the FBI are not based on recordings of interviews, but the notes that the FBI agent took of the interview. So there are ways to twist our justice system, and they do happen all the time, and they happen by Democrats going after Republicans and Republicans going after Democrats and prosecutors going after whatever their target is. I agree. But still, what would you do with Spin-Ghoul?
I think I would stick to the system they normally use. And in a situation like this, they go, okay, we normally use a military tribunal. Okay,
but here's the thing about the military tribunals is that they're still not working. Like, to this day, 24 years after 9/11, they've gotten 2 convictions, 9 plea deals, whereas in criminal courts, more than 600 terrorists have been prosecuted and found guilty. So the criminal courts are actually more successful. And I would posit this just as food for thought, which is, I don't really have an opinion. Like, I hear what you're saying, military tribunals, and like, I wrote the book like a thriller. People, it's not a polemic. It's not like telling people this is what you should think of the war on terror. It just is what it is. It's hopefully just a good yarn. But I look at it. I don't think it spoils it for anybody to tell you that Spingool is now locked away in a supermax for the rest of his life. And I look at what would have happened if he'd been picked up 3 years before during the Bush years. Well, he probably would have been sent to Gitmo. And then at some point, because there had not been the sleuthing, there had not been the investigation, at some point somebody would have said, we really shouldn't be holding this guy anymore. He's low-level Al-Qaeda. All we have against him is that he's confessed. We have no evidence against him. And probably, just in the interest of emptying Gitmo, which has been going on now for years, he probably would have been sent to Niger or Saudi Arabia or wherever. And then he would have gone and tried to kill as many Americans as possible. So I think there's an argument to be made. And again, I can't prove that. That's just my speculation about Earth 2. But I think there's a case to be made that the Spingool case shows that the criminal courts can be very effective. And look, I hear your argument, and we have the judge in the book, Judge Kogan, saying something very similar. Like, Obama could have done whatever he wanted to do. We didn't have to do this. He thought it was like a show trial to show off that we could do this. And he didn't think very highly of it. And that's a perfectly legitimate argument and point of view. And I wrote the book to accommodate all points of view. But I do wonder if this case does show that the criminal courts can be very effective for this kind of thing.
Well, I appreciate the other side of that. And I thank you for your time. And we've burned through it, but I could have talked to you forever. Congratulations
Thanks,
on the new book. Be well, my friend.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Well, that wraps up today's show. I'm attorney Jeff Kaufman. Thanks for joining us. Special thanks to my two co-hosts, my good friend, professional comedian James John, and my law partner, Craig Lind. This show is sponsored by Kaufman Lind. If you or someone you know has been in an accident, contact us at 407-500-JEFF or 407-500-5333 for a free consultation, or visit us at whenyouneedus.com.